This is TCT's Daily Major. I am Brian Dabrio, and these are your headlines. St. Lucian farm workers on Canadian farms earned a combined gross income of AC $8,553,034 in 2015. We have a Vitara with your name on it. A consultation on sustainable development goals concluded at the Golden Palm Event Center this Wednesday, and a banana exporter wins Haiti's presidential elections. TCT's Daily Major is brought to you by Dubél's Bottling Company, Perrins Food Products, Ramco Chowming, and One Caribbean newspaper.
So nothing will keep us together. Oh, we can be heroes just for one day.
More than a third of our children are now overweight or obese, and some reports indicate this will be the first generation where the children might not outlive their parents. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in the United States, and the leading cause of death for African Americans, Hispanics, and whites. 25 million North Americans are diabetic, and roughly 2 million people are diagnosed with diabetes every year. Bio's Life, the clinically proven natural fat loss.
For more information or to purchase this product, contact Ramjay at telephone 716-1400 or 450-0495 or email ramjay35@hotmail.com.
One Caribbean newspaper is dedicated to the unity of our people in one Caribbean nation. We invite you to write us and tell us what's bothering you. No matter what it is, as long as it's within the law and it doesn't offend the public conscience, we will publish it. Send us your pictures. Tell us of your weddings. Tell us when, unfortunately, you have deaths, and we will publish the death announcements. One Caribbean is a newspaper dedicated to the unity of the Caribbean. Write to us at onecaribbeanltd@gmail.com or dennisdabrio@gmail.com, and we will publish what you write, as long as it is within the law and it doesn't offend public decency.
Welcome. A delegation comprising of the Minister for Labour, Honorable Stevenson King, Labour Commissioner, Mr. Ray Narcis, and Labour Consultant in the Department of Labour, Mr. Winhall Joshua, represented St. Lucia in the annual review meeting of the Canada Caribbean Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program. The meeting was convened in Jamaica from November 14 to the 18, 2016, and it marked the 50th year since the governments of Canada and the Caribbean have embarked on such a program where Caribbean workers are provided with seasonal employment on Canadian farms for periods ranging from between 4 to 8 months yearly. Principally, the aim of such annual review meetings is to bring owners of Canadian farms together with Caribbean government officials, officials of the Canadian High Commission, as well as representatives of the Government of Canada into one forum for the purpose of deliberating on all issues relating to the program so as to ensure its continuity and improvement. Two key matters of the meeting were proposed amendments to the agreements for employment in Canada and the issue of a nominal deduction from workers' wages for the purpose of administering the program and defraying some costs relating to workers' recruitment. Also, the Honourable Minister profited the opportunity to hold discussions with employers from British Columbia and Quebec and offered the services of St. Lucians as farmers of those provinces had few St. Lucian workers. Those discussions were fruitful since the employers gave the undertaking of working to recruit more St. Lucians through our laser service in Canada. In 2015, 231 St. Lucians were recruited for work on Canadian farms and earned a combined gross income of AC $8,553,034. Schools across St. Lucia reopened this Wednesday, November 30th, 2016, for classes as usual. The St. Lucia Meteorological Office advised the Ministry of Education that the bulk of the inclement weather which forced schools to remain closed on Tuesday had passed, although some showers and cloudy weather was expected to continue. Persons are asked to continue to check for weather updates. Sol AC Limited has promised to give one lucky customer this year a 2016 Vitara with his or her name on it. The leading supplier of energy products in the Caribbean, in association with JQ Motors Limited, unveiled its We Have a Vitara with Your Name on It promotion last week at its Sol Grosile service station. A brand new, beautifully decorated 2016 Suzuki Vitara parked outside Sol's Grosile service station was the main attraction at the official launch of Sol AC Limited's We Have a Vitara with Your Name on It promotion. According to General Manager of Sol AC Limited, Mr. Lawrence McNaughton, Sol's strategy has always been customer focused and driven.
Following extensive market research, our consumer insight indicated that drivers required a quality fuel which offered them more value when it came to fuel consumption. Hence our Sol Go Further fuels. And we thank you for patronizing Sol. Thank you for being here today. And certainly we look forward to you going to our service stations, spending your $50 and more so that your name can be on that Grand Vitara.
According to retail sales executive Swindon Nelson, the promotion will run for 12 weeks into the new year and end on February 17, 2017. To enter, Sol customers simply have to purchase fuel valued at $50 or more or sign up online using a web card, which also gives you a chance to win a $50 fuel voucher weekly.
This year we've put in a new element, the element of a web card. The web card is specific to customers who want to enter the price of the Grand Vitara. So by buying $50 worth of fuel or more, you get your web card which carries a specific code. To enter the promotion, you must go online because your entry form is online. You also stand a chance of winning a weekly prize of $50 by using the web card.
In addition to the weekly prizes and giveaways attached to the promotion, Sol also used the launch to reward the early birds of the promotion at each of its 8 branded Sol service stations with a $50 fuel voucher.
Sol Grosile, we have Felmy Baptist. From Sol Marisil, we have Cletus Burton. From Sol Manuel Street, we have Atherton O'Brien. From Sol Millennium, we have Martin Isaac. From Sol Bexor, we have Lincoln Smith. From Sol Sadu, we have Nathan. From Sol Viewfort, we have Paul Joseph. So congratulations to these winners. They have each won themselves $50 for being the early birds at our Sol We Have a Vitara with Your Name on It.
The Pan American Health Organization and UK Aid recently sponsored a 3-day workshop for heads of public health facilities on the island aimed at sensitizing participants of the various disciplines involved in disaster preparedness. More in this report.
The workshop held at Coco Palm Conference Room forms part of the Smart Hospital Planning Initiative. Monty Emmanuel, civil engineer in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, gave an insight on the objective of the workshop.
We have a contingency training workshop which involves disaster preparedness, doing contingency plans for the place in case there's a disaster. What do they do? Where do they move to? Is preparing plans for hurricane, fire, storms, all these events that we're now doing a contingency training. We're setting plans. So what we have here is a combination of all the nurses for the facilities. They are writing their plans, learning how to better their plans, learning processes how to extinguish fires, coming up with ideas of the best location for their plans, what is best for us to do in case there is an emergency. We have the support of the fire service. They're very supportive in this process.
The health engineer went on to say that it wasn't just about having a safe facility or infrastructure, but the preparedness for compensation after a disaster was vital.
You have to be prepared. Preparedness is the key to the smart hospital also. It's not just about spending money in infrastructure, it's about preparing persons on the ground to do the work when the event is there. So it's all part of the training process for this facility, for the program.
The primary focus of this workshop was for participants to learn how to draft, test and implement those plans in order to build resilience against disasters within their facilities.
I'm very satisfied. Everyone was very engaged. We did presentations looking at how far they've gotten with their documents, and so far what I've been hearing, they have gotten everything that I've been saying to them, and I'm very much hoping that within 6 weeks, that's the time limit that we've given them, we would have all 17 facilities with disaster contingency plans in place.
Manager of Comfort Bay, Gertrude Gustav, spoke about what she learned and how the workshop could benefit her facility in the future.
The workshop this week has been very enlightening and very educational to me. This morning we had a desktop simulation which kind of opened my eyes very much to things that we had not seen before. We had a fire simulation this morning, and as much as we have a fire disaster plan, there were areas that we kind of overlooked. And this workshop this morning kind of bring that out to the fullest for us. And going back to my facility, we will be reviewing that disaster plan and putting in some of the key areas that was missing.
Reporting from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, I am Miguel Morissette.
A two-day consultation seeking to obtain the views of St. Lucia's civil society on the Sustainable Development Goals and the Samoa Pathway took place on November 29th and 30th at the Golden Palm Event Center in the Valmore Building, Rodney Bay, Crozet. In September 2015, governments throughout the world, including St. Lucia, adopted the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which came into effect in January 2016. This agenda includes 17 Sustainable Development Goals accompanied by 169 targets to be achieved by the end of 2030. The SDG agenda, which builds upon the success of the preceding 8 Millennium Development Goals, is broader in scope, addresses more complex challenges, and requires more inclusiveness and collaborative partnerships both nationally and internationally. Thus, the localizing of the SDGs calls for greater participation and collaboration among stakeholders and across all sectors. This agenda promises to deliver an opportunity for development that is inclusive, integrated, and locally focused. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development was shared with civil society organizations to assist in guiding the discussions and completing the ranking sheets. The Global Environment Facility Small Grants Program provided funding support for the consultation, which was hosted by the Coalition of Civil Society Organizations of St. Lucia in collaboration with the St. Lucia National Trust. You are watching TCT's Daily Major. Still to come, TIPA brings business month to a close with an open house.
Crystal clear. That's what we drink it. When I want to quench my thirst, bring a bottle of crystal clear. Yeah. It's so refreshing. I don't want no other water. The choice is crystal clear. Cool the temperature. Revitalize me with crystal clear. Give me a bottle of water. All on the road is inside bottle. Everybody's drinking water. Crystal clear. Yeah. It's so refreshing. When I want to quench my thirst, bring a bottle of crystal clear.
The choice is clear. Crystal clear. Premium, purified drinking water from Zubule's Bottling Company Limited.
The way you smile at me is everything I dream.
Your Lucelec bill has been redesigned to give you more information. The top portion of your bill contains an invoice number, Lucelec's VAT identification number, and customer address. A past due stamp is displayed if your payment is overdue at the time of billing. Ignore it if you've already made your payment. To the right is a barcode for easy processing of your payments at Lucelec's customer service offices only. The billing summary highlights any amounts due from the prior billing, total of all payments made between your last bill and your last payment date, any other charges or credits to your account, any fees for returned checks or reconnection, VAT charges on these fees, the balance brought forward, your current charges for the billing period, the total amount outstanding on your account, and the date by which it should be paid.
Experience the flavor of icy. Icy, yeah. Icy. Pop it up. Let's start the party. Ooh, yeah. I like the flavor. Ooh, yeah. I love the taste.
The orange and the pear, the cherry and banana, the apple, ginger beer, or strawberry for your mama. Grapefruit, cola, champagne, sorrel if you wanna. Quench your thirst first, have a icy soda water.
Icy, yeah. Icy. Pop it up. Let's start the party. Ooh, yeah. I like the flavor. Ooh, yeah. I love the taste. Icy.
Experience the flavor of icy. Bottled by Dublaze Bottling Company Limited.
Ramco pasta is a master. Your staple of choice because the quality is superior. No gluten, no white flour, 100% semolina. Ramco pasta tastes better, I swear. Ramco pasta forever. When I using mac and cheese, bon. Give me some more, please. Ramco have variety, go Betty to Betty and Fusilini.
Ramco, the taste we know, met you. Now available at all leading outlets. Distributed by Ramco. For more information, call 450-0495.
Thanks for staying with us. The month of November has been a vibrant one for the local business sector as a number of activities were held as part of Business Month. The initiative was organized by the Department of Commerce, International Trade, Investment, Enterprise Development and Consumer Affairs in conjunction with the Trade and Export Promotion Agency and a number of other sponsors. The aim of Business Month was to generate discussion on entrepreneurship in St. Lucia. Through the month-long calendar of activities, Business Month was able to sensitize the public on the core functions and services of the ministry and its support units and the agencies. Business Month activities included the Finance and Equity Symposium, the Digital Marketing Symposium, and the highlight of the month, the St. Lucia-Taiwan Partnership Trade Show. Closing off the month of activities, TIPA has opened its office to interested persons looking to take advantage of the Expo 2017 Open House Early Bird Discount. In anticipation of Expo 2017, which promises to be a unique buying experience, TIPA is offering a 10% discount on registration fees to interested exhibitors. Mrs. Jacqueline Flood, CEO of the Trade Export Promotion Agency, noted, Expo 2017 represents an exclusive opportunity for both local and regional enterprises to engage with their regional audience. What better way to close off a memorable business month than by presenting the opportunity for exhibition at Expo 2017 at even more attractive rates. TIPA's open house begins November 30th and affords a 10% discount to all exhibitors who sign up for the Expo 2017 during the promotion period. Issues of mental illness don't usually take center stage unless some traumatic, tragic incident befalls a mentally ill person. The seeming apathy in the society towards individuals and institutions providing care to the mentally ill is also widespread. But on Saturday, November 26, staff of the St. Lucia National Mental Wellness Center, the police, alongside professional models, strutted elegantly down the catwalk at Sandals Grand in a fundraising effort towards the cause of mental illness. More in this report.
Executive Director of Mental Health Services, Charmaine Hippolyte Thomas, was ecstatic that this year's Strut for a Cause event, organized by Valerie Albert Favre and Delia Fassois, focused on mental health. She said the Ministry of Health, via the Mental Wellness Center, is committed to combat stigma and discrimination towards the mentally ill.
Tonight's activity is an excellent indication that persons do understand the concerns of mental health. Voluntary groups and concerned citizens have gathered here to support the Strut for a Cause project, which is aimed at supporting the newly opened psychiatric unit for children and adolescents at the Wellness Center.
Police Commissioner Severin Morshery, who also did some strutting of his own, stated that it was quite timely for the police to be part of this activity, particularly as it fell within the celebration of Police Week under the theme, The Community and the Police, a Partnership in Action.
Last year, because we realized that people were getting injured, people who were mentally ill were getting injured, and some of them losing their lives at the hands of the police, we decided to introduce a policy document guiding the police officers on how to handle people with mental illness. So it is fitting that the police were invited to join this cause.
It has become customary for the Minister of Health to make a fashion statement at this event and deliver a brief address to the audience. Senator Honorable Mary Isaac did not disappoint, as she strutted in the colors representing mental illness, adorned in an outfit by Lisa Batten-Volney. The minister also challenged the audience to get active by highlighting and addressing issues of mental illness in St. Lucia.
I know that you understand that mental illness is not a decision. It is not a choice. It is a disorder. It is an illness, and it ought to be treated like every other illness, whether it is the flu, a cold, or anything else. It's just another illness. So tonight, I ask one thing of you, to remember that next time you see a mentally ill person, just remember, tomorrow, it may well be you.
Strut for a Cause also provided new budding fashion designers and models a platform to display their talents while contributing to various health-related causes. From the Ministry of Health and Wellness, I'm Glenn Simon, reporting.
The University of the West Indies Open Campus St. Lucia on Tuesday, 29 November 2016 hosted a public lecture entitled The Evolving Culture and Identity of China and Taiwan in collaboration with the Embassy of the Republic of China on Taiwan and the St. Lucia Republic of China Taiwan Alumni Association. The lecture was delivered by well-known political commentator and lecturer Mr. Denny Springer, who recently completed a 6-month attachment as a research fellow at the prestigious Academia Sinica in Taiwan. The lecture explored the evolving culture and identity of China and Taiwan. It also considered whether these changes, especially among the youth, represent an impediment to unification. On the regional scene, Caribbean 360 has reported that preliminary results show a second round in Haiti's presidential elections won't be necessary after the winner in the first round of elections, banana exporter Jovenel Moïse, took more than 50% of the vote. Haiti's Provisional Electoral Council reported that Moïse took 55.67% of the vote in the November 20th election, far ahead of his closest rival Jude Celestin, who won 19.52% of the vote. With Moïse's simple majority, a planned January runoff will be avoided once the losing candidates do not contest the results. Moïse, 48, who runs a banana export company that he sees as a model for rural development, also won the first round in the October 2015 elections that was scrapped following allegations of widespread fraud. His margin, however, was not as large. Now for the weather report. Present weather at Huronora, overcast. At George Charles, cloudy. Sunrise tomorrow, 6:12 a.m. Forecast for St. Lucia valid for the next 24 hours. Winds will be blowing from the southeast at 17 miles or 28 kilometers per hour, becoming lighter at times. Weather, mostly cloudy skies with scattered showers, periods of rain, and isolated thunderstorms. Residents and motorists in areas prone to flooding and landslides are advised to continue exercising caution since the soil is saturated and any rainfall could trigger these hazards. Seas slight to moderate with waves 3 to 6 feet or 0.9 to 1.8 meters. Forecast for the Lesser Antilles. Over the southern half of the Lesser Antilles, skies will be cloudy with scattered showers, periods of rain and isolated thunderstorms. Elsewhere, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with scattered showers. Tropical weather outlook. A trough system continues to generate cloudiness, showers and thunderstorms mainly over the southern part of the Caribbean region. Tropical cyclone formation is not expected over the region over the next 2 days. Finally, unbelievable but true. By special request, we bring you once again another incredible feat.
What are you doing?
I tell you what, if the average Joe was to attempt to release that arrow with his feet, somebody in the audience would be in major pain. Here's where we come to the end of this edition of TCT's Daily Major. And before we go, another look at the headlines. St. Lucian farm workers on Canadian farms earned a combined gross income of $8,553,034 in 2015. We have a Vitara with your name on it. A consultation on sustainable development goals concluded at the Golden Palm Event Center this Wednesday. And a banana exporter wins Haiti's presidential elections. TCT's Daily Major was brought to you by Dubélés Bottling Company, Ferrans Food Products, Ramco Chowming, and One Caribbean Newspaper. As usual, on behalf of the entire news team, I am Brian Dabreo. Thanks for viewing.